this is Kayla.
Hey, this is Becky, and we are a couple of bees that read and review our books.
And we are here today for our weekly wine. What's the wine this week?
Well, this is an interesting wine. It's by Fieldhouse 301, and it's a Chardonnay. And I know you love Chardonnays.
I do.
And the great thing about, well, I don't know how great it is, but the thing about this wine is it came through my Scout and Cellar Wine Club. So you have to be a member of the wine club, I guess, in order to get this. Was one of their special wines they sent out to us. So, but it's interesting. I haven't had this one yet. I've had several other Chardonnays from Scout and Cellar, but not this one.
It smells excellent.
Mm-hmm. It's very light.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good Chardonnay.
Yeah, it's a very light Chardonnay. It's, at least that's the way I see it. Not heavy. A thing of notes of pears, maybe.
Definitely fruity.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
A little bit of vanilla in there going on.
It's a little bit buttery, but not to the point
No.
where, like, some people don't like Chardonnay because the butteriness coats their tongue.
Right.
And it doesn't do that.
No.
So
But it is, reading up on it, it is one that goes through the stainless steel barrels, tanks, and then it finishes off in, I think, a French oak barrel for just a little bit, not much. But I thought it was interesting. Popcorn is my favorite snack.
oh yes.
And one of the things that it says that it pairs well with is your movie popcorn. Now, this isn't movie level popcorn, but it is popcorn, my favorite.
Never had popcorn with
I
wine.
thought we would test it out. I love popcorn with wine.
Never had that.
So it's a little different, but I really enjoy it. So,
Okay, it is good.
So I love popcorn with wine. Popcorn goes with everything, in my opinion. So, but it's a good. It also goes well, with white wines. Go well with shellfish and roasted chicken and light cheeses and things like that. So it definitely fits the bill for that. But again, I got this through my Scout and Cellar, my Scout Circle. So that's how it came in. But we have a lot of good Chardonnays.
Yes.
Duff Hunt Dog. We love Duff Hunt Dog Chardonnay.
Absolutely.
It's one of our favorites. So.
And so if you ever want to get some wine from Scout and Cellar, make sure to check out the section below with all of our information. We always put the link there to Becky's Scout and Cellar store.
It's a great place to work with. Okay, so this week it's my turn to review a book.
Yes.
And I really loved this book. I had not read this author before, but you had.
I read it's Ruth Emmy Lang, and I read her first book, which was Beast of Extraordinary Circumstance.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually my first book of the month book. I didn't get it from book of the month. I bought it used. And it's what made me decide I should start getting book of the month.
Right, because it was such a good quality book.
It was such a great quality, but also just the book itself was so well written.
That's good. I remember you also, it's one of the first books I think we reviewed on our blog.
It
because
was.
You had it at the beach when we were starting the blog a couple of years ago.
I did. One of the first book reviews I wrote.
So, Emmy Ruth, you've been with us from the beginning. So, we're going to continue on. And I really liked this. It's a magical realism. Some people say it's urban fantasy. It's kind of got some mystery and suspense involved. And one of my favorite genres is contemporary women's literature. And I love that. And it has kind of a feel of that as well. So it's kind of like, I think last week you talked about, crossing over genres. And this book does that to some extent. And I feel like does it well. It's the story, the plot, the characters. They don't get lost in, which genre does this go in. It doesn't matter. because it's just such a well-written book. And I found it interesting in reading up on the author. She had a note out about the book itself, and she wrote it during, our isolation in COVID. And I think part in this book is about a mother and two daughters, and the mother ends up leaving, just walking away one night, and it really messes up with the daughters, because one's like 5 years younger than the other one, and so she has to go, and she stays with the foster family who loves and adores her and eventually wants to adopt her, and all of these things. And the oldest, Zadie, has to deal with everything, and the sisters, in this 5-year period that their mother is missing, they drift apart. They're living two totally different lives, because the oldest had turned 18. She was an adult, and the day that she saw her mother walk away, and it was just kind of bizarre. And I think that disconnect that they find within themselves, with each other, probably, Emmy Ruth writing during that isolated period, we felt this is so disconnected from our families and our friends and just the world in general. And, that kind of, I think, really pushed her on, to be able to create this. But now it's out in the world, and we can be together again, and we can enjoy this beautiful book that she wrote. Mm-hmm. And I'm not at all about giving spoilers, so I'm just going to tell you, I've already said it's about a mother and two daughters, and the mother leaves, and then you have all of these things that occur. Why did the mother leave? Well, you really don't, there's hints of it through the book, but I wasn't really expecting what came at the end. And I mean, you had to read it to the end to get it all. And that just, it was really wonderful. I love the way it ended. I don't want my books to end without a happy ending. Life is hard enough. If I'm going to read, I want to be happy at the end of what I read.
Right.
And I'm okay to struggle through some things and, like that, but I do not want to end on a sour note. And this book definitely does not do that. And, Zadie is the oldest, and Finn is the younger sister, and their mother has certain sixth sense, is what they call it, because it's something special they have within themselves, and both Zadie and Finn have it. Zadie's is she's more of a psychic. It comes on, and she kind of sees what's happening in the future with certain things. Finn's, on the other hand, is more about the past. She sees people's memories, and she doesn't just see them, she becomes them. She calls it an echo, and she actually, it's like she becomes the person when the event is happening. At least that's how she thinks and feels, and it can really be draining on her. And they kind of do this thing. Finn's leaving high school, and the sisters leave and go on a trip to find their mother, and it's a journey that they go through, and they meet some interesting people along the way, and they grow themselves as people and everything. And it's just a wonderful book, and I would encourage anyone to get it and read it. If you didn't get it last month when it came out, it was my pick for the book of the month last month. Definitely, get it as an add-on coming up, because it's well worth the read, and I think you will really enjoy it. So I think you'll read it too at some point. I think you will like it a lot too. So.
I really enjoyed her first book, and everything you're saying, it kind of goes along with what I felt about the first book. It was so well written. The characters were so well developed.
They were, yes.
And just, it has that touch of magic. I think she was the first true magical realism author I read.
Yes.
And her and Heather Weber are probably my favorite in that genre.
Oh, yes.
Period.
Love Heather Weber.
But
We're
I think
talk about her later.
Oh, we will. I think she was the first one I read, though, and it was, it was very exciting, because I'd found a whole new genre for me. Because I used to be a really big epic fantasy fan, but I kind of I don't want to say I grew out of it because I did. I mean, I read 15 fantasy novels this year. I didn't grow out of it, but I got to where I liked a little more realism in my stories. So having this sort of niche genre is awesome.
It's wonderful. So definitely pick up Emmy Ruth Lang's book if you have not done so. It's a 5-star for me, easy.
Awesome.
Love it. All right, guys. See you next time.
See you next week, and don't forget to check out Scout and Cellar Wines.
Bye.